Everybody is having a good week. Happy Friday. It is finally almost the weekend. If you are hopping on, say hey in the comments. If you're catching the replay, #replay. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit to bring it back to like my manifestation series that I really am dedicating this year to up-leveling my mindset, up-leveling how I think about things, up-leveling how I approach things, and spreading that positivity and having a higher vibration. And it's so funny because like our team call last night was all based around vibration and frequency and all the energy that you put out into the world and how to protect your energy and how to, keep your energy up. And I'm not talking like tired energy. I'm talking about like your mental energy and the vibration that you give off to the universe. So one of the things I want to talk about is in one of the books that I've been reading, and we talked about like money mindset, broke mindset, all those things last time we talked about this. And let me know if you set like a specific goal for 2021. I've talked about this in the past. I'm not huge on resolutions, but I am really big on setting goals and improving areas of your life that you want to improve. And I think it's really important to say those things out loud, like claim those goals, claim those things, talk to the universe and tell the universe, like, this is what's happening. This is how it's going to work for me this year. Like, this is what it is this year. And oftentimes we as humans, and I definitely think it comes from society and how we were raised and different norms that are out there, we don't necessarily think that we deserve the things that we dream about. And I have to say that that's probably the furthest thing from the truth. Hi, Brandy. How are you? And we often like subconsciously or consciously think that we don't deserve love, acceptance, abundance, wealth, a fabulous life, like whatever it is. And the truth is we do deserve all of those things. And it's just a matter of how you put that energy out into the world and how you're going to claim those. Granted, I talk about manifestation all the time and how you can put, the energy you put out there is the energy you receive. I'm really good. It's Friday. Harper's napping. She slept really good last night, so we weren't up all night. And I just think it's really important to recognize that while you can put all the positive energy out there for what you want in this world, it's also really important to realize that you have to take the action steps to do it. You can manifest things, but you still have to make choices throughout your life that are going to help you along that journey to get to the end point. But you are worthy of so many amazing things in your life, and you just have to stop thinking that you're not. There is no one in this world that I know that isn't deserving of a good life or worthy of a good life. Obviously there's some people out there in the world that aren't great people, and that just says more about them. Hi, how are you? So I think it's just really makes a big difference. Oops, let's see. I'm just checking out my comments on Instagram too. So we as humans are so likely to self-sabotage before anything else that actually gets in the way. And 9 times out of 10, it's us thinking that we don't deserve things, or we get in our head and we stop taking action, or we stop doing something before we even reach the point of trying for it. Or, you get in your head and you think, everything's going good, and then you think something and you're like, all those negative thoughts creep back in, and then it starts to eat away at the joy that you feel. And a big thing for me is this year, like, I want joy. I want to lift other people up. I want to share what I'm learning and what I know and how it has changed me and how it has changed my life, because people deserve better. And with the negative energy that's in the world, we need more positivity. We do. We need so much more because we feed off things. And I've talked about this before. When someone walks in the room and you know that that person's in a bad mood, you can sense the vibe instantly. And it does. It weighs down the rest of the room. So if this is relating, or if you're understanding everything I'm saying, or if you think this is relatable, let me know in the comments. I think that we often stop ourselves and basically sell ourselves short of what we truly want because we think that we don't deserve it. And here's the thing, we talked about this last night, is fear and complacency are 2 of the biggest things that will kill your dreams. unworthiness can also show up in fear. Unworthiness and fear are two things that can literally nip your dreams right in the bud. There's also a difference in line. There's like a fine line between nervousness and excited, and I think it's kind of interesting. But when you start feeling that fear and that anxiety builds in you, and you start to, you sabotage, because that fear blocks you from putting your next foot down. And you have to really kind of take charge of that and be more afraid. In my opinion, I'm not afraid of failing when it comes to anything. I'm more afraid of being on my deathbed and regretting the fact that I never tried, or the fact that I never did something, or the fact that I never went after something. So for me, my bigger fear is regret versus failing forward, because the only time you're ever going to fail is if you do not try. And the only time you're ever going to fail is if you can't get yourself back up. And granted, that's not to say that things are easy, because not everything in life is meant to be easy. There's many things in our life that are meant to be challenging, are meant to be hard, so that we can grow, so that we can become stronger, so that we can overcome things. We can't always explain why things happen, but they do happen for a reason. And we can honestly only learn from them in how we respond to them versus like how we react to something. How if you fall down, you get back up and dust yourself off. That is going to make a bigger difference. So for me, fear will literally slash your dreams. It will literally just stop you in your tracks. It'll make you feel like you're on that hamster wheel of never getting off, because you're afraid to actually take action on what you want in this life. And when we do realize that fear, and we kind of look it in the face, and we start taking those baby step actions towards it, it gets smaller and it gets smaller, and the fear shrinks until a new fear pops up, essentially, because we're humans and our brains change thoughts and gears 20 million different times a day. But you have to just know that fear is there, but underlying, like subconsciously, you can do the things that you want to do, and you need to start training your mind to think that way. I recommend journaling. It's something that I've really started taking more seriously this year, and I've talked about this in other lives. It has literally made the biggest difference for me. Writing down and I like guided journals, because otherwise I'll end up sitting there writing an entire novel. Sorry, my mouth was getting dry. So I definitely recommend writing, journaling, writing down where your parts of self-destruction are. Where, if you journal, let me know, like, what's your favorite journal? If you do journal, like, write down those things that scare you. Write down the things in your life that you self-sabotage at. And you really just have to recognize that thought of unworthiness isn't you. You have to remove yourself emotionally from that thought. And think, when you think that thought, does this thought help me get towards my goal or my dream? Or is this thought stopping me? And you just have to start paying attention and tracking what those thoughts are, and stop giving those negative thoughts power. And it takes work, and I am not 100% flawless at it by any means. It's something I'm still working at, and still working to change, and still working to work through, to give myself the power that I know I have inside of me. And everybody has it. And you also have to decide whether those thoughts that you're telling yourself are true, or are they some bullshit story that you're telling yourself. You can decide right now, every story you've ever told yourself about yourself, is it true? What's something that you've doubted yourself for, and you don't necessarily know where that thought came from or why you believed it? And don't engage in those old thoughts. Literally, don't give them another thought. It is going to be so much easier said than done, but the more and more you practice this, the easier it is going to be for you to recognize those negative thoughts. For me, I'm super ADHD, and human brains don't have a massive attention span as it is. So you just have to, if you have a negative thought, and if you can somehow reroute it to something positive, do that, and try to do it every single time. Something that was said last night on our team huddle, which is quite amazing, that I kind of thought about, especially as a mom, was that when you're born into this world perfect. You were born into this world with innocence. You don't have any preconceived notions. You don't have any of that stuff. And then you don't have fear. Children, you always say, are resilient. They're fearless. They're this, they're that. They're honest. And you start to realize that, like, as children, you consume more and more of the outside world around you, and it changes your perception of the world. It changes how you look at things. It changes so much about how you act as a person, how you think you should be as a person. All of those things come from our outside, like, things that we are experiencing. All of the different nature versus nurture, etc. You change based on the things that you've seen around you growing up, your experiences, whichever. And sometimes we have to think, man, maybe we had it really, really good when we were little, and we didn't have all those fears. We didn't have those doubts. We weren't super unsure of ourselves. We weren't timid. We weren't, you notice based off people's things. So that was something we talked about last night, and I thought it was pretty interesting because I find it very accurate that we do change 100% based off the world that we consume around us. And like this year, you have seen, whether it's on social media, the news, whatever, you've seen people 100% downward spiral because of the things that are going on in the world, and surrounding yourself with the news 24/7 and all of those things. It really takes a toll on someone's, mindset. So if you've struggled with thinking that you're worthy or you're not, I challenge you to think of a memory when you felt like you didn't deserve something good that happened to you. And I want you to think about who told you didn't deserve it. And if someone has told you that they didn't think you could do something, or if they thought you didn't deserve something, or if they thought that it wasn't going to happen for you, what perpetuated that throughout your life? And I think it's really important because you'll start uncovering pieces of truth of what you truly believe about yourself, and if those beliefs about yourself are what somebody else put on you. It's important to really reflect, and I think that you can start tackling things if you kind of start trying to pinpointing where those thoughts of unworthiness came from. And putting, people are always going to be flawed. Perfection's not a thing. We're human. So just try to stomp out that self-sabotaging and try to recognize it for what it is, and try to be able to full stop, know when you're doing it. Because for me, a couple years ago, before I joined this community and business, hi Cassie, I didn't honestly notice how negative of a person I was. I literally didn't realize that 90% of my thoughts were either self-doubt, negative, insecurities, things about myself that had been placed there, not just because of me, but other things that people had said to me, other things that people had done to me, bullies in middle school, high school, whatever. All of those things are what keep those thoughts perpetuating. So if you can sit down and realize, okay, when I started with this company and I started learning more about myself and learning more about mindset, and just honestly being able to recognize when I'm doing those things that I'm doing. And it's all about what you consume, whether it's the media, it's TV, it's reading, it's music, it's all the things around you. Start surrounding yourself with more positive things. Start making it so that you are surrounding yourself with things that lift you up versus things that tear you down. For me, I love to read. I'm a huge bookworm. It's one of my biggest hobbies. And I love to read something that's not business related, or something that's very light, where mindless reading at night before I go to bed. In the morning, I like to read personal development, things that are going to fuel my brain and my mindset and my mood, and all of those things that can help me be a better mom, a better leader, a better wife. Because all of that spills over into every single aspect of your life. Nothing that you do doesn't spill over. So me working on my mindset helps me be a better listener, helps me be a better teacher, helps me be a better mom. It helps me have patience. It helps me love myself a little bit more. It helps me recognize when I'm doing things that I need to stop doing. And for me, finding those triggers and pinpointing where they came from was a big piece of that. So I really recommend, sitting down, throwing on some good music, something that makes you, reflect a little bit, and just put the pen to paper and figure out where these thoughts are coming from, what they are, and the fact that they really truly aren't the truth. They aren't. You're worthy of, sorry, I had a phone call. You're worthy of so much more than you think you are. So do not ever let anybody tell you that you don't deserve it, because you do. Does that mean that you can just manifest it and not put any work? No, of course you have to put in work. And I can honestly say that, like, this has been one of the biggest gifts of being in this type of industry. This company for me and this opportunity has made me grow so much as a person, and it's truly what I needed. And it's funny, a lot of times you think something you want versus something you need is so different, and what you need is so much more important. And for me, I didn't realize I was in such a shitty mind space. I didn't realize I was in such a bad place until I started surrounding myself with people who were about higher vibrations, higher frequency, lifting each other's up, like having community that makes you feel like family is one of the biggest things. And it's so, so, so important. So please don't ever underestimate that, because I think it's just been one of the biggest adventures, and your life is a journey. There's not like an end goal. It's always going to be evolving. You're always evolving as a person. You're always going to be changing as a human. And I think that me focusing on being a better person and being able to help other people become better people makes a massive difference, and which is why I want to help so many other people recognize their full potential, and why I want to help so many people up-level their life in different ways. I just think that it's so important to recognize that. I was just asking my husband if he was going to grab her because she's waking up. So it's just important to realize that you can grow in so many different ways, and it doesn't have to be limiting. You don't have to limit yourself. You can change all the different things. And know that when I'm like talking to you and speaking to you about these experiences and the things that I've learned and the homework I've done and the books that I've read and all this stuff, it's really coming from a deep place in my heart, because I didn't realize how bad I was and how much I needed to change and how much I needed to be a better listener and a better person and all of those things. If you have questions, comment them below. Like, I love to answer your questions. I'd love to give some book recommendations. Podcasts are great too. I just think that there's so much that we as humans can do to grow personally that it's really important to not ignore that. So yeah, and that's part of why I was so attracted to this community that I'm a part of now, because I needed that. I needed community. I needed something to help me feel like I was where I needed to be, and something that I aligned with. And something, one, obviously, that was going to help me in our financial situation, because we were not in a good space. And something that I felt like I truly believed in my gut and in my heart and in my head that I was in the right place. And, you know, mentoring other women and other people to do the exact same thing, and changing and recognizing and stepping into their power has been so, so, so rewarding. And we're just getting started. So this year I want to work with more people who want to grow and want to be better and want to change their lives and want to do different things and aren't afraid to step out of their comfort zone to do those things. So again, you are worthy. You can have the life that you want. You are deserving of that life. Do not ever feel guilty for wanting better or more than where you are at, because there is nothing wrong with that, as long as you still have gratitude for where you are at. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. On Monday, I do have a call that explains a little bit more about what I do, this opportunity, how you can get involved in it. And it also is not just me, it's women on my team, and how you can change your life. And it's not just business. It's so much more than business. Like last night, our entire call wasn't even about business. It was literally about mindset and being a better person and how to raise your vibration for the universe. So it's so much more than what you think it is. And it's not spammy. It's not salesy. You don't have to message a million people. You don't have to, hunt down all your friends and family. It's not like that. It's just very much so a place that you can call your home away from home. Like, my Prove It family is my family. My team is my family. And I think it's really incredible to have other people lift up other people. So if you have any questions about that, or you want information, it's literally just information only, no obligation, no nothing. be a fly on the wall if you want. Drop info in the comments and let me know. But again, you are deserving of the things. You are worthy of all of the good things in life. You just have to believe it. And you have to start with believing in yourself. Other people aren't going to believe in you until you believe in yourself. And once you have that solid, concrete, bulletproof belief that's unshakable, nobody can take that from you. No one. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday, and I will probably hop on either later because I'm going to go to Trader Joe's and see what I can find for a good keto haul there. And if I don't go today, I'm going to go tomorrow. And then I may have to go to Costco if I can't find all the things that I need at Trader Joe's. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. And see, like right now, my I am statement just popped up on my phone, and it's perfect for this exact thing. It says, today I am aligned with who I am. And that is exactly how I feel today. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.